Auto Body, 1513 East Philadelphia.
J&J Truck and Auto Body, 100% guaranteed.
At Dakota Bank, we're more than just a place to bank. We're your neighbors. From everyday banking to home mortgages, insurance, and trust services, we're here for every step of your financial journey. We believe in doing what's right for you because we live here, work here, and care about our communities just like you do. Go with confidence, go with trust, go with Dakota Bank. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Insurance and investment products are not FDIC insured, may lose value, and have no bank guarantee.
Ready to be part of something big? Meet the Rapid City Sports Commission, the powerhouse behind sports in Rapid City. The commission focuses on bringing regional and national tournaments, supporting homegrown events, and creating opportunities for our kids. But it's not just games, it's a win-win for all of us. Youth sports fuel our economy. Hosting events in Rapid City means out-of-town families shop, dine, and stay with us, which boosts sales tax revenues too. To get in on the action, visit rcsportscommission.com, where we're all about the hustle.
Kickoff just got bigger. Murphy's Pub and Grill is back with NFL Sunday Ticket. That means every game, every team, every Sunday. Right here at your favorite bar. Cheer loud, eat big, and score with Murphy's game day specials on food and drinks. The atmosphere, electric. The staff, legendary. The screens, everywhere. This season, don't just watch football. Experience it. NFL Sunday Ticket is back, baby. Murphy's Pub and Grill, your new football headquarters. Visit murphyspubandgrill.com.
KIMM Rapid City and K294BT Rapid City, the Black Hills Sports Station, 106.7 FM and 1150 AM. Fox Sports Rapid City.
Starting out in college football, Alabama head coach Keighron DeBoer put to rest any rumors that he would leave Tuscaloosa for Happy Valley.
We are extremely happy at Alabama. Love the challenge, love the grind, love this place, and there's never been any link. There's never been any conversation. There's never been any interest either way. And so I'm glad we can put that to bed right now.
Alabama getting ready for the SEC title game against Georgia coming up on Saturday. James Madison's going to hire former Florida head coach Billy Napier to be their head football coach, while UAB is promoting Alex Mortensen to be their full-time head coach. Cowboys and Lions tonight. Week 14 begins at 8:15 Eastern. Amon-Ra St. Brown still questionable with that ankle injury. Eagles defensive tackle Jalen Carter, that is going to miss Monday's game against the Chargers after a procedure done on both of his shoulders. Commanders quarterback Jaden Daniels, a full participant in practice today. I'm Dan Byer.
It's time for South Dakota's Sports Talk Show. This is the Nate Brown Show, featuring live callers, great interviews, and thought-provoking sports talk. From the biggest national names to the hottest stories across South Dakota. Welcome to the Nate Brown Show. Here's your host, Nate Brown.
All right, let's get rolling tonight. Welcome in. The Nate Brown Show is back on Fox Sports Radio. South Dakota Sports Talk Show ready. Thanks for being here. It is always a great day in South Dakota. Say it with me. We are live on our affiliates across the state. Fox Sports Rapid City, Fox Sports Sioux Falls, KWSN. Thanks for checking in. Great guest lineup tonight. Great show tonight. It is a Thursday. That means it's Thursday happy hour, a little double hitter with Rob Keighron, our guest host in the next hour. He's in again, a double hitter this week with Rob. That's always good. I mean, I think I can handle it. We'll see if you can handle it. Rob Keighron's coming up Thursday happy hour, next hour. South Dakota Sports Talk Show just getting going on your drive home. We are streaming on X. Remember, follow us and watch us live at Nate Brown Show. If you can't catch us all the time on the radio, take us with you there on your phone. Follow us on the X app at Nate Brown Show and watch us live. Welcome in studio, festive with the Christmas tree up and even the brand new bowl game. Matt Kearney is on top of it. He's got bowl game ornaments on our Christmas tree. It's a staple. And a brand new bowl game announced today, and he's got it. He replaced it. He's on top of it. Stream us on YouTube, The Nate Brown Show. Subscribe to the channel, and then you've got us, so we'd appreciate that. You can get us anywhere, really. The Nate Brown Show on YouTube, and one more spot, Midwest Sports Plus. Welcome you in there. If you have the new high school sports streaming app in South Dakota, it's called Midwest Sports Plus, and we are live. Thursday happy hour's packed. We're going to make some NFL picks for the week. Some good games coming up. Rob Keighron, a lot to discuss with him. Let's look at the guest lineup popping on tonight across South Dakota Sports Talk Show. It is Craig Mattick. East River meets West River every week with Craig, SDPB Sports, longtime Sioux Falls broadcaster. Craig Mattick's coming up. Lee Sterling's on the way. It's a Thursday with Lee. Paramount Sports, one of the top handicappers in the country. He's going to make his picks. A couple of college games, a lot of NFL from Lee tonight. Tune in for Lee Sterling's picks straight ahead. And a great A-lister tonight, Mike Golic Jr. back on the program. He's on Golic and Golic, FanDuel Sports Network. His show just wrapped up, and he'll be on the Nate Brown Show coming up. Mike Golic Jr., one of our favorites. If you want in tonight, if you know the number, great. If you don't, I always throw it out. If you're tuning in for the first time, that could happen. You might be a brand new tune in tonight. So 605-720-1067. That's the number. Lock that in. 605-720-1067. Be a part of the show if you want. Courtesy of the Pizza Ranch Studio Hotline, powered by the Pizza Ranch. Some locations I want you to drop by. It's really good. Locally owned and operated. The location in Brandon, outstanding Pizza Ranch there. And East 10th Street, Sioux Falls is where you'll find the Pizza Ranch. Plus 2 locations in Rapid City. Home of everyone's favorite buffet is your Pizza Ranch. And the Barron's Wilson text line. Ready? 605-720-1067. Text the show directly on the Barron's Wilson listener text line. All right. A couple of college football stories I want to discuss today. A couple of college football stories. One is, I'm going to start off with one where I'm taking some heat. And I'm starting to wonder if I've been wrong on this. And I can't say that I've always been wrong on this, but I'm starting to wonder if I am wrong on the college football playoff. I'm a huge college football fan. I did not like the 4 playoff teams, and then you just had the 4, and that was it. You were playing them on New Year's Eve, and it was just stupid, just dumb. And so I said, I like the expansion. And so if you've seen my past positions, great. If not, I'm going to fill you in. I like the college football playoff expansion to 12 teams. They might end up going to 16. You know this. So we're at 12. But here's what I've been hanging my hat on, and I'm taking heat on this in the past week. I'm getting messages. People have said, you wanted this. I think I got like 6 texts last night. You wanted this, and now it's a mess. And here's what it's about. I always thought you should have a group of 5 team at the table in the 12-team college football playoff. And I'm biased, and I admit that because I come from the upper Midwest here. I'm a South Dakota, Montana guy. My brother played at Wyoming, so I went to Wyoming games every week for 3 straight years. And so I saw Wyoming compete against some power teams and compete in there. And I saw the Boise State stories, and they made some great wins against some great teams. And you always want, at least I do, I want the little guy to get a shot with the big boys. And so I've held with that. And I've said this is the college football playoff. You can expand to 12, but you've got to make sure you have a group of 5 spot. I've always thought that should be the case. Just one. It's not going to end the world if you just have one group of 5 team at the big kids table. I always thought that's not going to end the college football playoff scenario. Well, now you got everybody and their mother whining. Everybody, including people sending me texts. They're just lighting me up saying you want the group of 5 teams and you should have other teams in besides these group of 5 teams that are going to take a spot. And so I'm wondering, have I always been wrong on this? Because I'm starting to look at it and say, is it a system that's really working? When you guys look at the college football playoff that's coming up, and you look at the standings, maybe you don't know this, that's why I'll fill you in. You could have essentially Tulane, North Texas, or James Madison. They might get the group of 5 automatic spot because you get the highest ranked group of 5 team now automatically in the playoff. And I know it's just one spot out of 12, but I'm taking a step back today, and maybe I'm getting turned on this. by the heat I'm taking. I'm under the gun. But really, as I think about it, so you tell me, with these are like 3 teams in the running. However this weekend plays out with the conference championships, these are 3 teams in the running, and you could have a scenario. Tulane, North Texas, James Madison. One of those teams could make the college football playoff. And if I'm really being honest to you tonight, I'm looking at Tulane's schedule. I'm looking at James Madison's. I'm looking at North Texas. They haven't beat anybody. Oh, they're 11-1. Well, that's great. They haven't beaten anybody. And so then I'm sitting here looking at it going, hang on. Is this right? A group of 5 automatic qualifier, even with the likes of these programs? You know Tulane, if they get in, well, they're just going to get smoked. And some people say, hang on, that's not necessarily the case. What about Boise State? Yeah, I know. What about Boise State last year? They got smoked. Maybe that wasn't the Boise State of yesteryear, but they got smoked. Do we want Tulane in the college football playoff? Do we want them in there? I'm just asking that tonight. Do you still give the little guy a shot, 1 spot automatic, or you just have to put the best teams in? You just can't keep out a Vanderbilt who's had an unbelievable year. What if Notre Dame is out? What if Notre Dame's out? Seriously. You're going to put Tulane or James Madison in over Notre Dame? I mean, that's just it's not feasible. And so I don't know where I've got this wrong, but I think I have an idea. Seriously, I think I have an idea. Why did I want the group of 5 teams in the mix? Well, this was before all of this NIL created an unequitable playing field. I mean, you've got programs, the haves and the have-nots. It's such a huge gap. I know there was a gap before. There's a huge gap now. When you have serious all this money, and you got SEC teams with all this money, we're still trying to think that group of 5 can compete at this level? That's, I believe, my only out on this. Because I've been fighting for the group of 5. I've been saying, hey, let's give them a spot. I like March Madness when SDSU makes it. I know they haven't won a bunch of tournament games, but I want them at the show. I want a group of 5 team at the show, right? But is it still right when the NIL era and the portal era has really amplified the gap? I'm not so sure I can say that. We got to be honest with ourselves. Say, Tulane, North Texas, James Madison, they're not in the same category as Miami, Notre Dame, Vandy. I mean, they're just not. Here's Vandy out here trying to play somebody this weekend. Clark Lee, former SDSU assistant. Clark Lee's done an unbelievable job there. And he's saying, I'll play somebody this weekend just to try and make a show. Like, give us a shot here. And he's going to watch, and he's going to watch North Texas make the college football playoff here in a week or so. And that's a tough one for me to take. So maybe you have to carve out the group of 5 spot. Maybe you just have to carve it out as an automatic. I like staying with the group of 5 involved in this, but it feels like we're separating these 2 classes of football. It feels like the James Madisons are going to be with, guess who? The SDSUs and NDSUs sooner than later. James Madison's had an unbelievable year. Used to play the Jacks, right? I mean, we know James Madison. They're 11-1. They're not Notre Dame. I mean, they're not. So until we have this breakoff, and I still think that's coming, I don't know if a James Madison or a North Texas should be playing in the college football playoff here. I really don't. So, listener text, what do you guys say? Let me throw this out. Let me throw it out first. Tulane, North Texas, James Madison, a few teams that are up for a spot in the 12-team college football playoff. They could be the automatic qualifier. Do you still think this is a good system with an automatic qualifier from a group of 5 like that? That's what I'd like to know from you. Still a good system. I'm waffling. I mean, I try not waffle. I try and fight to the death. Michael Jordan's the best basketball player of all time. I'll fight to the I'll fight to the death. I got people sending me texts last night. I can't believe you want a group of 5 team in here. I can't believe this. I've always wanted a group of 5 team. I want the mid-majors. But the system now is so flawed that the mid-majors can't compete with the top teams in college football. It's a money game. It was a money game before, but not as bad as it is now. Let's see. 56% of you say, I don't like the group of 5 qualifier. 56% of you in the Nate Brown Show question of the day so far, checking in on Twitter, at Nate Brown Show, saying, I want to put the best teams in. No automatic group of 5 qualifier. 44% of you say, yes, keep it the same. Still give the group of 5 a shot. Let's go to the listener text line if you want in 605-720-1067 on the Barron's Wilson text line. Listener text, no chance the group of 5 teams will ever win 4 games in the playoff. Vandy, on the other hand, could win 4 games and maybe be a champion. Out with the small teams. Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. I'm with the small teams. I like the small programs. That's been my thing. I don't know if it's the thing anymore because the system has changed. The landscape of college football has changed. We're not just doing scholarships anymore, where Boise State could have a run and beat Oklahoma with Adrian Peterson back in the day. It's a lot different now. I mean, North Texas, they could win here. North Texas is going to be the college football playoff. I mean, come on, guys. Even I have to take a step back, say, that's iffy. That's iffy. By the way, what if, like, North Texas and James Madison get in? Like, there's a scenario where that could happen. If Duke wins the ACC, like if Duke upsets Virginia, like there's a scenario where North Texas and James Madison might get in. We're going to lose our minds. I don't think Duke will beat Virginia, but just hang on. It could be an absolute mess. Listener text, it's a Power 4, not Power 5. Power 4, not Power 5. Yeah, well, it is a Power 4. And they get one spot now for the group of 5. You have a group of 5, one spot. I've always wanted to save it. I don't know about it anymore. What do you say? A couple more here. Listener text on the Nate Brown Show, 605-720-1067. You want to save the spot for the group of 5 teams? Easy fix, listener says, win your conference and you make the playoffs. Well, it's kind of hard to win the SEC, right? I mean, there's some really good teams in the SEC that don't win their conference. And should Vanderbilt be in the discussion here? Sure. Should Notre Dame probably get in there? Well, we'll see how it goes. The BYU-Texas Tech game's kind of the X factor there. But should North Texas get in if there's some upsets and then Notre Dame's out? You can't have it. Yeah, I mean, you just can't. Listener text, no way. Should be the 12 best teams, period. 12 best teams, period. Wow, it's interesting. I thought we all fought for the little guy. We wanted the little guy. I used to fight that battle, and I'm not totally giving up until I look at my agenda here and I say, oh boy, Tulane's going to make the playoff. Tulane's going to play somebody. Oh, come on. We're getting into the area of college football where the Tulanes can't compete anymore with the real top teams. So it basically, it'd be like we're trying to pick the Final Four of basketball. It's like without playing the tournament, and then you'd be like, well, I don't know. These guys in the smaller conference, they had a nice year. Let's give them a shot in the Final Four. Let's give them a shot in the Final Four. And we would never do that. You got to earn your way. You got to play your way. I don't know if the group of 5 teams show that. Look at Tulane's schedule and get back to me. Look at North Texas's schedule, who they beat, and get back to me. Tulane got beat by Ole Miss by like 30. By Ole Miss. That's going to be a college football playoff team. Ole Miss, we've already seen that. They beat Tulane by 30. Let's see. Couple more. The best teams are the conference champs. But maybe, what about the Mountain West? What about the Mountain West? Am I one of the best teams if I win the Mountain West? Is UNLV one of the best teams if they win the Mountain West? No. Is Vandy not one of the best teams just because they only have 2 losses through an SEC schedule? That's a good team right there. They just knocked around Tennessee on the road. So, listener text, it's like a 2-6 team making the playoffs in high school football. Yeah, it kind of is. I'm starting to shift. I'm starting to not die on that hill. I'm retreating. College football has changed. A North Texas and a college football playoff, that ain't going to cut it. Coming right back with Mike Golic Jr. What does he say? College football analyst and host of Golic and Golic on FanDuel. Mike Golic Jr. is going to join South Dakota Sports Talk Show next.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
Shop the best deals of the season at Splash City. Stay warm, relaxed, and save thousands on Jacuzzi and Sundance's highest quality hot tubs and saunas. With a free accessory package, you only have until Christmas Eve to stop in your local Splash City to learn more about these amazing deals. Jacuzzi and Sundance's highest quality in hot tubs and saunas to warm up inside and outside all winter long.
Visit Splash City in Sioux Falls, Rapid City, or Sioux City. It's time to make a splash. You've earned it.
Save big on everything for your next project when you shop at Menards. Transform your home with Shaw Vinyl Plank Flooring. The Hillcrest series is waterproof and offers superior protection to stains and foot traffic. Pick it up today for $279 per square foot. Now through December 7th. Save big money on all Shaw Vinyl Plank Flooring at Menards. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for more great deals happening this week.
Season's greetings to you all from Menards.
Life changes fast. Starting a business, getting married, buying a house, growing your family. Have you taken steps to protect your family's financial future? Don't let life insurance be the thing that slides. It can help your family during difficult times. Lee Cruz with New York Life Insurance Company can help you get started. He's local and will help you find the right policy to fit your needs and budget. You can Google Lee Cruz New York Life or call 605-360-8804. That's Lee Cruz New York Life. Protect your family.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Partly cloudy this afternoon with daytime highs approaching 43. Westerly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Mainly cloudy skies expected. Tonight, lows level off around 27. High temperatures reach up to 41. Tomorrow, sunshine mixed with clouds at times. A dusting of snow Saturday. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Right now, it's 37 degrees.
Collins Siding has been the region's premier window siding, door, and gutter installation specialist since 1974. They use only the highest quality materials and never compromise on their workmanship. Collins Siding is licensed, bonded, and their estimates always include labor, materials, and applicable permits and taxes. Collins Siding has been providing top quality service and exceeding high standards for over 45 years, and you can find out how by visiting them at 2016 Cherry Avenue. Collins Siding, 2016 Cherry Avenue, Rapid City.
Over $73,000 in cash and prizes are up for grabs this November and December during the Cash Climb at Cadillac Jack's Gaming Resort. Be here every Friday and Saturday starting at 8 p.m. for your chance to win prize packages from $300 all the way up to $1,000 at midnight. If a winner isn't present, the prize rolls over, making the next drawing even bigger. It all leads up to the grand prize drawings on December 27th. Only at Cadillac Jack's Gaming Resort in Deadwood. How will your night play out?
If you want the peace of mind that your next pre-owned vehicle is the best it can be, you want Honda True. And you only find it at Danny Manholt Rushmore Honda. Our Honda certified pre-owned vehicles are thoroughly inspected and backed by 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain coverage, up to 2 complimentary oil changes, 24/7 roadside assistance, inspection report, and 3-day exchange. You simply can't buy the wrong vehicle. Search our inventory at honda-true.com or see us at Denny Menholt Rushmore Honda.
Live callers, big-time interviews, and breaking sports news. This is South Dakota's sports talk show, The Nate Brown.
Welcome back in, the Nate Brown Show live, South Dakota Sports Talk Show on Fox Sports Radio. Thursday happy hour tonight. That means Rob Keighron's live in studio next hour. Hang out our guest host every week. Had a Reaction Monday with Rob, now a Thursday happy hour. Rob Keighron's coming in. We'll shoot it around. Here we go. Craig Mattick's coming up from SDPB Sports, talking South Dakota sports straight ahead. Mike Golic Jr.'s on tonight. Just got done with his show, Golic and Golic. You can watch it on FanDuel Sports Network. He's on X at Mike Golic Jr., and he's here on the Nate Brown Show tonight. Mike, always appreciate you. How are you?
Doing well. How you doing, Nate?
I'm good, man. I saw you said, hey, for the first time like ever in this football season, you're not traveling this weekend. You're feeling good? You settling in?
I am settling in. I am excited to consume all the football we have coming up this weekend, college and pro, from the comfort of my couch. Get the YouTube multi-view up there. It's going to be a nice weekend.
Okay, you've been busy. Okay, I've got an admission here, and I've got some listeners that have tried turning me on this. I've been a guy that said, I want a seat at the table for the group of 5. My brother played at Wyoming, so I'm biased. Mid-majors, Mountain West, the Boise States of the world. I want them at the show, just one spot in the playoff. And now I'm starting to wonder if I'm wrong, because Vandy's on the outside looking in, Miami potentially. So there's some good teams, maybe even Notre Dame, maybe. Do we really think North Texas should be in over a Notre Dame? Am I wrong on the group of 5 getting an automatic spot? What's the sentiment?
I still think I'd like to see them have a seat at the table as well. Like, I think the setup we have right now with the 5 highest-ranked conference champions still feels like it's the right note to strike. Like, there are so many ways where the parts of the sport outside of the Power 4 conferences, and hell, in some ways outside of the SEC and the Big Ten, feel like they're constantly at least trying to be pushed to the periphery. And, like, man, if we're going to keep expanding this playoff, like, I do think there needs to be an acknowledgement that there's more to the sport than just what happens in the Power 4 conferences. And, hey, listen, this year, you're right, it's maybe a little bit down in terms of teams that we believe actually could have a chance of going. Like last year, you had Ashton Genty and what he represented both as a Heisman candidate, but for Boise State, who is a team, I think, well known for what they've done in the past in big upset wins and moments. But, you know, you think back to the 14 playoff. Before Cincinnati moved to the Big 12, they were a team that got all the way up into that. Like, it's a group of football that, hey, maybe, listen, now it's a little more complicated with the dollars and cents that change hands around the sport, but I still want to see that group involved, because to me the best byproduct of the expanded playoff was an expanded conversation about the sport that we all love, and I think making sure that it involves the most teams it can for as long as it can is a net positive.
Okay, so here's where I have shifted, and you just mentioned it, the NIL era. That has to have created a bigger gap than even before. So Boise State beating Oklahoma back in the day in that Fiesta Bowl, that's one thing. But now, we don't expect James Madison to go in and beat somebody.
Maybe not. Like, I could argue, hey, now, like, it would have been harder in the 14 playoff era before all this, but we see now, I just saw Bud Elliott from the Cover 3 podcast tweeting about how the gap between some of the top recruiting class rankings and, you know, further down in the top 25 there has kind of flattened in the same way the whole sport has. Like, there's, things you can look at in the macro level, O-line play, a little bit less consistent around the sport in a way that could maybe open that up, since that was always the area I thought where the dominance between Power 4, Power 5, and the Group of 5 and beyond showed itself the most. So I'll be curious to see. It's still going to be that same feel at times of some of these programs being used as a farm system where bigger schools with bigger budgets will come in and poach. But I think that flattening that we've seen across college football that's benefited a lot of programs that maybe weren't first off everyone's tongue in the 14 playoff era and in the time before that in the BCS, it could still open it up for those to be conversations that we have going forward. And maybe this is just an off year. I mean, the problem is we're trying to make guesses off a 2-year sample size right now, and I want to see a little bit more before I render a final judgment on that.
Okay, so I want you to be ready, Mike. People are going to go bonkers. Let's say Duke wins. I don't think they will. Let's say Duke wins. Then you're going to have a North Texas in, potentially, or a Tulane, and a James Madison in. I mean, you might have 2 Group of 5 teams in, no ACC. I mean, people are going to go crazy, no?
Yeah, no, the ACC, I know they've been pretty bullish publicly. I saw Manny Diaz on with Andy Staples and Ari Wasserman the other day talking about how he believes the ACC champion always could and should be in the college football playoff, and that if they beat Virginia, he believes that they'll be vaulted up into that standing. But I'm not quite as confident in that. So, it would prompt probably some soul-searching from the ACC. And I think a lot of conferences now, in the wake of the conference expansion that we've seen, are probably going to be taking a look at, one, the scheduling process, because we saw in a world post-divisions for everyone but the Sun Belt, it's created even more uneven scheduling around the sport where certain teams are going through the gauntlet in their conference, certain teams are skating the other top performers all together, and it creates situations like this, and that's before you get to the tiebreakers that allow this to happen, whereas there are some conferences, I believe the American, that either factor the AP Older College Football Playoff poll into some high-ranking tiebreakers, and you wonder if more teams now, with an emphasis on getting teams into the field of 12, or if it expands to 14 and 16, are going to look at incorporating that into how they influence tiebreakers in their conference championship, so that you're the ACC, and in subsequent years, maybe it betters your chance of getting a Miami team, who right now clearly on the field is the best team in the ACC, but is going to be on the outside looking into their conference championship, because that's how that works.
Yeah, it's wild. Mike Golic Jr. on tonight. His show is Golic and Golic. Great stuff on FanDuel Sports Network. Glad to have him on South Dakota Sports Talk Show. What do you think of Clark Lee and Vanderbilt, I guess, trying to do an emergency game against Utah or Miami or somebody? They say, we'll play them this weekend to prove it. I mean, I don't think that would ever happen. What do you think of that?
I thought it was an interesting solution to a modern problem, right? It's kind of what people have bantered about in the idea of a play-in game for the college football playoff. And I likened it to Final Jeopardy. You're a team on the outside looking in, you're not in first place, and you got to figure out what you're willing to wager. And this idea that, hey, would 2 teams in that range of, maybe even a Miami, a Vanderbilt, a Texas at 13, say and look around, all right, we don't have a chance to play in the conference championship game. Can we find a way to manufacture this potential opportunity? And listen, I'm sure television partners would love that. Fans of the sport would love to see teams that are on the bubble go out there and know, hey, with a loss, we're totally out of the conversation. But with a win, could that be a resume booster we need? There would need to be rule changes, since right now there are NCAA rules that permit you from playing a 13th game unless you started your season in week 0 or played in Hawaii and Alaska. But in this day and age where we're constantly reimagining what the sport's postseason looks like and stand to do that again after this year, it's something interesting to consider. I appreciate where the thought was. It's that idea of, we'll play anyone anytime. We'll play them in the parking lot. We saw games come together on short notice like BYU and Coastal Carolina in the pandemic. I ultimately think this is probably something that, if we're talking about expansion to 14, even 16 teams in the future, maybe dies on the vine or gets pushed down to a level where, hey, if we're talking about the 16th, 17th, 18th teams in the country, is anyone going to really want to go through this exercise? But I appreciated where his head was at, and I kind of like creative solutions.
Okay, you do a Notre Dame show. Does Notre Dame seem like a playoff team? I think they're good if Texas Tech wins, right? But is Notre Dame a playoff team?
Well, it depends on how you mean that. In terms of resume or quality, are you asking?
Yeah, I'm talking quality. Quality.
Quality, yeah. I mean, I think I saw today they're like the fourth shortest odds to win the national championship. Pretty much every major power ranking metric, from Sagarin to FPI and all those different things, have Notre Dame as like a top 5 team right now with the way that they're playing. Quite honestly, it's the reason the committee's had them where they've had them the vast majority of this time, because they look on the field and they say, hey, after some of the tweaks they made early in the season, really good football team. And hell, even before those tweaks, when they were playing against the best competition on their schedule, a team that played one-score games with 2 of the better teams in college football. So on the field, there's no question. Like, if you were going to draw up a playoff and said the only charge is we want the best 12 teams, the best 12 football teams college football has to offer, you couldn't do that without putting Notre Dame in the field at this point. But we know that's not the charge. It's the best of the most deserving, and how you blend that together is what differs with each committee year to year when we change people, but it's the job that they have, and it's what makes this so difficult in the sport.
Last one for Mike Golic Jr. I'll let you run. The big story of the week is Lane Kiffin. What did you think of how he handled the situation to LSU?
He handled it poorly, but this is college football where might makes right, and if he goes to LSU and wins, all of those fans aren't going to care. Most of the people that talk about the sport are going to focus on that, and he certainly ratcheted up the intensity needed around that and the pressure on him to do so. But I think the way that it was handled towards the end of the season, ultimately, and this is the crime of most situations around the sport, unfair to the players who have put so much into the season, like the coaching staff did. I don't want to shortchange them either, but I said to people this week, and the thing I always like to reframe is, coaches, provided you're performing, can coach as long as they want. Now, opportunities that come open and available, maybe you only do so often, and so I understand there's a sense of urgency there. But for players right now, at least, I understand if we exclude the pandemic stuff, the normal rule was you got 5 years to play 4 years of eligibility, and that's it. Not everyone's going to go on to the NFL, and so you might have the only championship opportunity in the lifetime of some of the guys in the Ole Miss roster that now has experienced a major disruption heading into that tournament. And I think that's the biggest shame of all of this. Is, Lane came to Ole Miss, someone who, through his 6 years there, talked a lot about how much he had changed, the things that had gone on, the way that his reputation had sort of been looked at differently around the sport based off what he accomplished and how during his time there. And it seems like how it's gone down the last few days, most of that has gone up in smoke, and we're back to square one in a May that's going to make LSU a fascinating study next year.
Would you be able to change the calendar, Mike? That's what everybody says needs to happen, because you wouldn't have March Madness coaches leave in the middle of a tournament if they're the 2 seed. So can you change the college football calendar? Just make a rule. You can't get a coach and do transfers until after the season.
Yeah, I mean, it's what you talk about with the NFL, right, where they have very strict rules about who can interview and when for coaching jobs. Once it comes to teams in the postseason, I mean, the solution is to kind of blow up the spring calendar the more I think about it, right? Like, reimagine spring football in a way a lot of programs already are, as more of an NFL model. And listen, I understand you're still to some extent beholden to the academic calendar. Most schools are on, semesters, and so you worry about that at the start. But I have to imagine there are ways that we can work around that, especially for the bulk of the sport a lot more, to the point where, all right, you're starting things later in the spring and maybe bleeding more into the summer. It gives you time to move silly season with the hiring back into January. Certainly gives you time to move the portal till after the college football playoff, and do this in a way that recognizes we're dealing with a more different version of the sport than we originally calculated with this calendar.
Yeah, I'm with you on it. Mike Golic Jr. on tonight, South Dakota Sports Talk Show. Follow him on Twitter at Mike Golic Jr. and watch the show Golic and Golic. It's on FanDuel Sports Network. Mike, enjoy the weekend. Thanks a lot.
Thanks. You too, Nate.
Appreciate it. Mike Golic Jr. in tonight on the Nate Brown Show across the state. South Dakota Sports Talk Show with one of the great college football guys in the country, Mike Golic Jr. See, so that's how this playoff system's messed up. Is he said, and he's a Notre Dame guy. He played at Notre Dame, but he's like, well, Notre Dame's one of the top teams in the country. Now, their resume's not huge because their best win is like USC. But I mean, they're blowing teams away. They're really good. And if BYU wins over Texas Tech, I think Notre Dame is out. And that means like Tulane is in or somebody like that, and Notre Dame's out. I mean, it's just, that's not good. That's not good. With Tulane, North Texas, James Madison maybe get an automatic spot in the college football playoff. Is the college football playoff automatic spot for the group of 5 teams still good idea? That's our question of the day. Is the group of 5 automatic qualifier in the college football playoff still a good idea to you? Yes, give them a shot, the smaller conferences, or no, just put the best teams in. 58% of the audience voting tonight. Put the best teams in. Forget the group of 5 automatic qualifier. Tough. I've been. Hey, Mike Golic Jr. still wants the group of 5. He started that interview with, I still want the group of 5 teams to have a shot. He still wants them to have a shot in the tradition of college football. Until Notre Dame gets left out. Anyway, he didn't say that part. Lee Sterling's in next. ParamountSports.com. He's one of the top handicappers in the country. We get him every Thursday. He's got games to pick, and Lee's coming up.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one. So you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
Keep your cash and spend ours. Our Black Friday sale is back. Get 20% off our claim replacement windows and ensemble entry doors with no money down, no interest, and no payments for 18 months. You pay nothing until 2027. Plus, enjoy a Visa gift card for up to $2,000 as our gift to you. Hurry, this Black Friday event is only here till December 13th. Call today or visit RBARapidCity.com to book your free estimate.
What do you call a place? It's one of Deadwood's largest casinos, but is it really a casino? Because you can't decide, should I play or eat or wait? There's a liquor-infused ice cream bar? I mean, you're playing craps one minute and the next you're looking at a charcuterie board? What even is that? Never mind the gunfight outside, you don't have time for that. You've got espressos to down and games to bet on and a pub with 48 whiskeys? What do you even call a place like that?
I didn't know anything about radon. I didn't know it's a gas you can't see or smell. I didn't know it's radioactive from decaying uranium deep underground. It can seep through cracks in your foundation and collect in your house. 1 in 15 homes have high levels, and you don't know if yours is one of them unless you have your home tested. And radon? Well, radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer in America. I wish I would have known that.
Call Blackburn Foundation Repair for radon testing and mitigation.
I just got the State Farm Personal Price Plan on my car insurance.
So you told your agent you play the bagpipes for your dog?
What? No, I didn't get that personal. My agent just helped me create an affordable price just for me. Okay, let me show you what I've been working on. Hey, Buster!
Contact me, State Farm agent Scott Carlson, to create your personal price plan today.
Prices vary by state. Options selected by customer. Availability and eligibility may vary.
You're You're listening to The Nate Brown Show, also streaming right now on X. Follow us and watch the show live at Nate Brown Show.
Welcome back in Your Sports, Your Show, the Nate Brown Show live. Glad you're here. Thanks for making the show possible. We appreciate you. South Dakota Sports Talk Show on Fox Sports Radio, our affiliates across the state. KWSN, Fox Sports Sioux Falls. Welcome in. Also, Fox Sports Rapid City. We are live. Craig Mattick's coming up with an East River meets West River hitter. Every week we talk South Dakota sports and more. A lot to discuss there with Craig tonight. SDPB Sports, he's on tap. Every Thursday, it's a Lee Sterling segment. He's with ParamountSports.com. He went 5-0 on his picks on this show last week. Let's see what we can do this week. Lee, welcome in. How are you?
I'm good. We're going to change the thing. We're going to just talk music from now on. No more sports.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Are you an expert? I mean, I can try and keep up.
I'm pretty good. You know, anything from '88 back. So, what's interesting? Have you ever seen Boston?
I have not.
Live.
I've not.
Okay. They sound. I've probably seen almost every, top group that had hits from the late '60s all the way to the late '80s. They sound exactly like the record when they perform live.
Wow.
They sound that good. So I don't know, even I saw them probably 8-10 years ago in Fort Lauderdale at Hard Rock, and they were incredible.
Really?
If you get a chance, go see them. And I actually just bought tickets today for Chicago and Styx together.
Okay,
together.
I have just seen Chicago, the remade Chicago. Pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty good.
Okay.
I'm not going to say great. Okay. I'm going to say pretty good. So enjoy Styx in Chicago.
What about Styx?
I've not seen Styx, no.
Oh, you want to see Styx? I mean, they're great. I mean, obviously a bunch of the members have changed, but
yes,
it's really, really good. So the only group that I think have really fallen off the last couple of years was Foreigner, and they had to make a change there. I just think it was time, and it's sometimes kind of a little weird when you see like a 25-year-old playing the bass guitar for a group that was in the 70s. That's
I got you.
My thing, just a little weird.
By the way, Eagles at the Sphere in Vegas. I went. Really good. Outstanding.
I heard.
So
I have not been to the Sphere yet, but it is, even my wife is in my ear about going. So next group that I want to see that's there, even if, it's just for 2-3 days, we're going.
All right, man. I heard Metallica may be coming, so hang tight on that. I heard Metallica.
Okay. Okay, Cowboy.
Yes, let's go. By the way, let's get into the college side of this. Start with a game that people are like, wait, what about this? So you got Western Michigan, Miami of Ohio on the list. Western Michigan favored by 2.5. What do you see here?
All right. So this is a game that I like a lot here. It's strength on strength. The offenses run it well. Defenses generally contain it better than anyone else in the conference. I just think the kids from Kalamazoo, 2-hour drive east, ran it 524 times, threw it just 273. One of the run-heaviest play splits you're going to see in non-academy team football. Almost 64% of the time they run the ball. Brock Lowry, rugged runner here. 14 rushing touchdowns, and they played Miami of Ohio early in the year. They led 17-9 entering the fourth until the dual-threat senior quarterback for Miami, he led them on to come back here, and they had 3 straight touchdown drives. But he's since left and is preparing for the draft. I don't know what he was thinking there, but I think his backup, kid stepped in, the young Gutkowski, just not as good. I like Western Michigan here. They get the job done, 23-16.
Okay, so you're going to go Western Michigan cover the 2.5. Big one on the docket is the Big Ten Championship, Ohio State, Indiana. I don't know if it's going to mean much, so who's going to come out on top? Ohio State's favored by 4.5.
Yeah, and I think they're begging you here to play Ohio State. And I just think that their whole emphasis the last 5-6 weeks was beating Michigan. So Indiana indoors. If this was outdoors, I might change my mind, but indoors here, I think they had 2 weeks to prepare for this game. I think their coaching staff is that good. They put in a game plan here for this game. They weren't worried about Purdue. And Fernando Mendoza, indoors, I think he's going to shine, even against number one unit here. He has 32 touchdowns, just 5 interceptions. He's averaging, not per completion, he's averaging 9.4 yards per attempt. I think Ohio State's great, more talented, but I think Indiana in this setup, right team favored. Indiana pulls off the upset here, 27-24.
Wow, okay. Both teams are going to be in the playoff, but you're going to go Indiana to beat Ohio State this round.
Right.
Let's go NFL. Lee Sterling's in. Find him at ParamountSports.com. Some big games, and I like the games you got listed. NFC North, Packers hosting the Bears. Packers favored by 6.5. People still not respecting the Bears.
No, not at all. And here's what I love about Ben Johnson. Not only is he a really good play caller, one of the top 3 or 4 in the NFL, he understands his quarterback, just like Liam Cohen for Jacksonville. He realizes he has a quarterback that he must work around who doesn't quite grasp reading defenses in real time. So what does he do? He tells them, okay, you got read number 1, and read number 2, if you don't see those receivers, you throw the ball away or you eat it. And it's that simple. I like what he's doing. You know, maybe later on he adds a third different option for him to look at. He's not going to throw for 300 yards too many times, but it doesn't matter. You're trying to win football games here. So they're winning the time of possession and also the turnover battle almost every single game. And the Packers, they still got some weaknesses. I don't think their offensive line is great. Their receivers, a lot of drops. They have trouble getting separation, and their cornerbacks are nothing special. I think the Packers, 1-6 against the spread, laying more than 3 points. Stay away. I think Chicago takes them to the wire. Packers win 27-24, but I think the right side is take the 6.5 points.
Okay, taking 6.5 with the Bears at Lambeau. The Sunday night game is playoff make or break, I think. Chiefs-Texans. Yeah. Chiefs at Arrowhead, favored by 3.5. Can they get that done? What about the hook?
So I'm looking at the weather here. So we're looking at low 20s for this game, and both offensive lines. Chiefs line is really decimated with injuries. And then the Texans line isn't any good. Here's what they're doing. They're saying the total is 42. All you need is, Patrick Mahomes and C.J. Stroud. We'll get at least a 23-20 games. Well, not so fast here. Weather, like I said, it's an Arctic vortex. It's going to be low 20s. The wind is going to be blowing here. I just think that both defenses are going to be able to shut down the offenses here. Don't fall for the trap. Go under 42 total points, Chiefs and Texans.
Okay, that's where you're going, the under, the total. And how about my Broncos? Boy, they keep winning, but you say they're not covering. Now it's another big number, 7.5 at Las Vegas.
So here's what I like what they did. When they got to overtime, they're like, okay, we're facing a defense in Washington that's tired. We're going to speed it up. They need to do it more. You don't have to play hurry up, but, get in and out of the huddle 4, 5, 6 seconds quicker. You have a bit more talent. When you have more talent, it's all about creating 12, 13, 14 possessions, not having 8 or 9 in the game. So there's so much more talented on defense. The Raiders have one player, Crosby. You don't have to worry about anyone else. Offensive line for the Raiders is horrific. Their receivers, they don't have a 1, 2, or 3 on the team. They got 4s, 5s, and 6s here. So I think the Broncos, if they're smart, realize let's play a little bit quicker. Our defense is healthy. We don't have to worry about them anymore. We have our top line guys here. Broncos lay it on a team that I think that's starting to quit here. Broncos 26-10.
Okay, so they can cover the number against the Raiders. The picks are in. Lee Sterling on ParamountSports.com. Your game of the week, you're going to give them the Thursday night tonight, Lions-Cowboys.
Yep. Love this game. Basically an elimination game. Whoever loses is out. So anyone wants to get this game for free, just call 800-400-9741. First 10 callers. The call will give them the game for free. And what kind of roll have we been on? How about this? We've won 9 of the last 11 weekends. In the NFL, last 11 weekends, we're on a 37-17-1 run. Thanksgiving weekend, 1 on Thursday. Went 3-1 on Friday, 4-1 on Saturday, 2-1 on Sunday. We are rolling. We call it Double Down December. You can get every single game from tonight all the way through the end of the month. So you're going to get championship weekend this weekend. We went 5-1 last year this weekend. The games slow down. I can study 4 or 5 the last games on tape and get a real good read on these games. So you get this weekend, you're going to get 2 weekends of college football championship games in the playoffs. You're going to get almost 30 bowl games in December. You're going to get 4 weeks of NFL games, 5 games a week. We're on that 37-17-1 run. We call it Double Down December. Use coupon code SAVE100 every game through the end of the month. Just one place, ParamountSports.com.
ParamountSports.com. It's Lee Sterling every Thursday on the Nate Brown Show. Lee, I appreciate you, man. Thanks.
Okay. You too, buddy.
See ya. Lee Sterling, ParamountSports.com. Every Thursday making the picks. If you want Lions, Cowboys, that's his free game tonight. He'll give you the pick from this show. 10 callers in 800-400-9741. That's how you get in touch with Lee if you want his play tonight. Lions, Cowboys. Lions favored by 3. First 10 callers from this show only right now, 800-400-9741. Want to hit him up? He'll give you the free pick tonight with Lions Cowboys for Thursday Night Football. Good luck. Back with Craig Mattick. South Dakota Public Broadcasting, East River meets West River, coming up.
This is the Nate Brown.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds to share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number 1. So you can always be their number 1. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number 1 hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
Keep your cash and spend ours. Our Black Friday sale is back. Get 20% off our clean replacement windows and ensemble entry doors with no money down, no interest, and no payments for 18 months. You pay nothing until 2027. Plus, enjoy a Visa gift card for up to $2,000 as our gift to you. Hurry! This Black Friday event is only here till December 13th. Call today or visit RBARapidCity.com to book your free estimate.
What do you call a place that's one of Deadwood's largest casinos, but is it really a casino? Because you can't decide, should I play or eat or wait, there's a liquor-infused ice cream bar? I mean, you're playing craps one minute, and the next you're looking at a charcuterie board? What even is that? Never mind the gunfight outside, you don't have time for that. You've got espressos to down and games to bet on and a pub with 48 whiskeys? What do you even call a place like that?
I didn't know anything about radon. I didn't know it's a gas you can't see or smell. I didn't know it's radioactive from decaying uranium deep underground. It can seep through cracks in your foundation and collect in your house. 1 in 15 homes have high levels, and you don't know if yours is one of them unless you have your home tested. And radon? Well, radon is the 2nd leading cause of lung cancer in America. I wish I would have known that.
Call Blackburn Foundation Repair for radon testing and mitigation.
Lows level off around 27. Tonight, under overcast skies, winds out of the west 5 to 10 miles per hour. Sunshine mixed with clouds at times. Tomorrow, highs level off around 39. Lows around 21 tomorrow night. Mid-30s Saturday, upper 30s by Sunday. A dusting of snow Saturday. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Right now, 34.
Santa's come to Deadwood early this year. Dive into Santa's stash every Friday and Saturday at Tin Lizzy Gaming Resort. There's $20,000 in cash and prizes up for grabs every weekend. All you have to do to qualify is play with your Clubhouse card. Earn a free entry every day you card in and get an additional entry for every 100 points you earn. Then be here every Friday and Saturday at 10 p.m. so you can be one of the lucky winners who gets to dive into Santa's stash. Next level giveaways only at Tin Lizzy Gaming Resort.
From high school to college to the pros, from Rapid City to Sioux Falls, the Nate Brown Show is South Dakota's sports talk show.
Welcome in. The Nate Brown Show is on Fox Sports Radio, South Dakota Sports Talk Show across the state, powered by Black Hills Federal Credit Union, my family's banking partner. I want to tell you, you got to become a member at BHFCU. It's great. Technology that you need, the convenience you need. I got the mobile app, saves me a ton of time. They have great rates, whether it's vehicle loans, whatever loans you're looking for, personal, business, BHFCU. I switched from my last bank. It's worth it, believe me. Start at bhfcu.com. 18 locations across the state from the Black Hills to Sioux Falls. bhfcu.com. Really easy to get started. Become a member. Start experiencing the benefits of Black Hills Federal Credit Union for you and your family. Hey, Craig Mattick's in tonight. SDPB Sports, longtime Sioux Falls broadcaster. Greg, how are you?
Doing good, Nate. Doing great. Get through the cold and get through the holidays, and it's a crazy time of the year, and always wishing everyone on your program the best of everything.
I appreciate you. I have to ask, you say you're doing great. You're a Vikings season ticket holder. How are you feeling about your Vikings? I just talked to a Vikings guy yesterday. He is depressed. He said he can't handle these seasons. 4-8? He can't handle it. He'd rather go 10-7 every year with no Super Bowl than 4-8 and then a Super Bowl sometime. Where are you at?
Well, remember, 1977 was the last time the Vikings were even in a Super Bowl. So most of the youngins weren't even born yet when they were there. But, you know, I'm disappointed mainly in the performance of J.J. McCarthy. You know, I thought he would be better, although, you know, he's got injuries, he's the concussion thing, the ankle thing, and it's like, okay. And I guess I got to yell at the Vikings for not having a real good second backup. I mean, I live close enough to Minnesota, and I got Minnesota Gopher fans in my family, and they're all thinking that Brosmer was the second coming, and he was going to be the one that was going to take him to the promised land. And I told him, you guys are, again, living in, got blinders on. I knew Brosmer was not going to do anything. So I was not surprised by the way they played. It would have been very interesting to have been at U.S. Bank Stadium last week if the game would have been played there.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the fans would have been going ballistic over that? And who knows, they may do that this week when they host Washington.
It's a tough year for the Vikes, and I don't know where they're going to go from here. 5 games left with J.J. McCarthy to see what you have. Okay, let's go to South Dakota high school sports. I got a couple of things I want your thoughts on. We had some meetings this week. Football Advisory Committee met. Volleyball Advisory Committee met. A couple of things I want to talk to you about. In football, they passed a proposal that said, let's drop the playoff teams in the small classes from 16 to 12. That has not gotten through the ADs ever. Is it time?
I think for most of us, yes. I would certainly do the top 8. I would not do the top 12 because, let's face it, you just watch the statistics, especially 9-man and even in the 11-man. The first-round matchups are total blowouts. There is no NCAA special, team that's coming out of nowhere and comes out and smacks the number 1 seed. That doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. You just take the top 8. To me, just take the top 8 and make it really interesting.
Okay, you even want to make it harder. They're just trying to go to 12, and they can't even get that through the ADs, but they're going to try it again. So we'll see if the 9-man and 11B goes from 16 playoff teams down to 12. They passed it out of committee. Here's one update. The Success Factor Committee and Subcommittee are working. They're going to meet next week. This is looking at how can we allow teams to maybe move down, or are we also going to have teams move up? Here's what I found out with Dan Swartos. The moving teams up, if you've won over the past 4 or 5 years, that's pretty much dead. Are you okay with that? No moving teams up. They're going to kill that.
If you're going to have teams that move down, you should have teams that move up. It would seem to me fair that way, don't you think? But again, we're treading on water where we've never been before. It wouldn't surprise me at some point in time they might try it. Whether they keep it is another story.
They did say the one team that everybody does want to move up is Sioux Falls Christian. Anyway, but that's unfair. You can't just have one team like that. But that is tongue-in-cheek.
Their boys' soccer team, they did move up a division.
Yeah. So, little tongue-in-cheek there. You got to I don't know. I think moving teams up, Craig, it's dead. That moving teams up, nobody's going to want to do that. Pierre doesn't want to do it.
Nobody wants to do that. I've told you before. Teams in football especially, they will not co-op at all. Even if it's going to cost that district a ton more money for educating the kids, they don't care. They are not going to move up in football because they don't want to play a higher class.
Okay, so here's what I'm worried about, Craig. If you don't want to move teams up, then they're not going to let teams move down. And we got football programs that are almost dying. We have to find a solution.
Well, when you say dying, it's because they can't players on 9-man teams?
No, I'm saying Stevens and Douglas, they don't have players. They don't have wins. These programs are reeling.
I understand that. And again, I have no problem looking at the proposal to do it, similar to Montana. I'm not in favor of it being a roster size determining whether you move up or down. And I'm not necessarily cool on what I've heard, too, about not counting freshmen on your roster. Well, you can't do that either because a lot of the smaller schools, the freshmen are playing. And so it doesn't matter if they're a freshman or not. They're taking that body. So I think you can't count the freshmen. It'll be manipulated. I've seen a bunch of this, and I think you take the roster quota out of the system. And maybe it's only wins and losses. That is dealt with. Because that's what you're dealing with, right?
It is.
I mean, you've been talking about this for years. These teams only win 1, 2,
0,
maybe 3 games.
0.
Well, determine that. I mean, even if you have a roster of 70 or 50, but you're still only winning 1 game or 2, it really doesn't matter what your roster size is. You're trying to get them to play competition more on their size. And I think there's still a little leeriness of some of the ADs out there on this. But again, it wouldn't surprise me that they'll try it for 2 years and see where it goes.
Okay, the Success Factor for football, that committee is meeting next week here in South Dakota to see should we change our system or adjust it. Craig Mattick's on tonight. One volleyball question. So the volleyball committee met yesterday, and they had these proposals from just Class B, and they passed it. They would change the postseason qualifying format for Class B volleyball. You covered volleyball state championships. They're going to go, they passed it yesterday to not the SODAC 16, the SODAC 32. So now they're going to do Class B, SODAC 32, and Class A is going to do something else. And what do you say?
No, it's the same thing. I talked to you about football, the first round. You do to qualify for the SODAC 16. For the most part, the 8 and 9 seed game, that's a good one. There's a lot of times the 9 could beat the 8 or the 8. That typically is a fairly even matchup. Now, this year in the AA-A's, you had Stevens got beat by Jefferson. I mean, that was a 12 and a 6. I mean, that was an upset. But you know what? That doesn't happen that often. I would not add another 16 teams.
Okay. Class B has passed it yesterday, and it'll go to the ADs. But Class B volleyball wants to go to a SODAC 32 and seed it out from there, 1 through 32, and play on down to the Final 8 for the state tournament.
Is there any proposals in there to move Harrisburg to the Northern Sun Conference?
Not that I've seen.
Just curious.
Not that I've seen.
Just curious.
By the way, Dan Swartos told me something this week. He said, he's heard from legislators about high school football sometimes. South Dakota legislators have sent emails about this game or that game and opponents and blowouts and stuff. And then he said there's some state legislatures that have gotten involved in high school sports and making the rules. What if the South Dakota legislature said you're going to go to 5 classes? What does Craig Mattick say in football?
It's a disaster. I do not want the legislature involved at all. Stay away. Stay away.
Oh.
Activities Association, run away from any lawmaker that comes up to you.
Oh, I wanted the legislator. I want Craig Mattick's legislator telling the high school football classes how to go. We're going to 5 classes. That's it.
Nate, again, all of the rules and regulations and everything that is the South Dakota High School Activities Association, it comes from the bottom and moves up. It's the rank and file that are the ones that are deciding everything that we have right now. It's not the board. The board is taking direction from what the rank and file and the ADs are telling them what to do. The rank and file are telling the board and the ADs we want 7 classes.
Okay, I thought it was the ESD that told them that. But anyway, hey now, come on. Let's have fun. Happy holidays. We're not even there yet. But Craig Mattick is on tonight. Your podcast is in play. Do you have a new one at all?
Yeah, we got 2 of them coming up here in the month of December. Coming up next week, we'll be releasing a podcast of a coach who couldn't play volleyball because we didn't have the sanctioned sport at the time. She was right on the tail end of when basketball was sanctioned in South Dakota. But you know what? She didn't play volleyball, but eventually started the volleyball program in the state, and then went on to become one of the most respected referees in the state. So a fun topic, a great conversation, and that'll be with Kim Weed coming up next week on my In Play podcast. And then a record-setting athlete coming up in mid-December.
I love it. It's called In Play. Get it where you get your favorite podcast. It's from SDPB Sports, Craig Mattick. Craig, enjoy the weekend, man. I appreciate it.
All right, Nate. See ya.
Craig Mattick tonight on the Pizza Ranch Studio Hotline on the Nate Brown Show. Longtime Sioux Falls broadcaster. East River meets West River for a weekly hitter on South Dakota Sports Talk Show. It is Thursday happy hour with a double dip of Rob Keighron. Has he learned anything since Monday? We'll find out.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
How do you make a buffet day even better? Make it a play day. The Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade is your place for good food and good times. Won the big game? Make it a play day. Aced your test? Make it a play day. Just need to get out of the house? Make it a play day. The Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade has all your favorites and all kinds of fun. So bring your family, bring your friends, bring your team. For good food and good times, make it a buffet day and a play day at the Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade.
Mom, can we please go to Watiki Indoor Water Park Resort?
Watiki? What's so special about it?
Are you kidding? It's got slides, fountains, a lazy river, everything. And it's just a short drive to Rapid City. If we stay at one of the hotels, we get water park passes for free.
Wow, you really did your homework. Okay, what do you say we pack our swimsuits and hit Watiki this weekend?
Yes, best mom ever.
Unlock your adventure at WatikiWaterPark.com.
Out here, we have a deeper connection to the land, a stronger connection to our neighbors, standing on our own 2 feet while also working together. The power to do more connects us all. At member-owned West River Electric Association, it's all of us working together to make today and tomorrow better. This is Co-op Country.
What makes a credit union different from a bank? At Highmark Credit Union, it starts with you. We're member-owned, not shareholder-driven. That means our earnings go back to you through better rates, lower fees, and personal service. Unlike big banks, we put people first. You're not just an account number, you're part of a community. Highmark Credit Union. Local, personal, and here for you. We'll make it happen. Federally insured by the NCUA.
KIMM Rapid City and K294BT Rapid City, the Black Hills Sports Station, 106.7 FM and 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City.
If you're in the market for a vehicle right now, you probably have noticed it's sometimes hard to find the right one. That's where Summit Automotive Group steps in. Stacy and Matt and their staff working hard to get a great selection of pre-owned vehicles at affordable prices. At Summit Automotive, they have a different outlook on selling you a vehicle. You'll experience stress-free shopping, friendly, honest service with no high-pressure sales gimmicks. Before you buy, drop by East Highway 44, SummitAutoGRP.com.
Winter is almost here. It's time to say goodbye to drafty doors, poor quality windows, sky-high heating bills, and outdated design. And hello to Acclaim replacement windows and stunning ensemble entry doors from Renewal by Anderson. Now's the time to invest in your home and your family's comfort. And what better time than our Black Friday event, where you keep your cash and spend ours. Get 20% off windows and doors plus a Visa gift card for up to $2,000 as our gift to you. You won't pay a dime till 2027 with no money down, no interest, and no payments for 18 months. Call now. This incredible offer is good through December 13th. Don't wait. Visit RBARapidCity.com today to book your free estimate. You don't want to miss out on windows and doors that are durable, energy efficient, and custom made for the perfect fit from Renewal by Anderson. Our Black Friday sale is here. Book today because every home should be warm and cozy.
This is the Nate Brown Show. From the biggest national names to the hottest stories across South Dakota. Welcome to the Nate Brown Show. Here's your host, Nate Brown.
All right, let's get it going tonight. Thursday happy hour is upon us. Glad you're here into the drive home tonight. I hope you're out the door. The Nate Brown Show is on. South Dakota Sports Talk Show live. Fox Sports Radio. Appreciate you listening to the program, making this show possible, and our affiliates across the state, Fox Sports Rapid City, Fox Sports Sioux Falls. A lot to cover tonight. First hour looked good. Mike Golic Jr. popped by, talked some college football playoff, and I got a big issue here. I have a big issue, so to solve it, I invite in Rob Keighron. He is live. Thursday happy hour with Rob Keighron, our guest host tonight. And my big issue, Rob, is this. I have fought for this college football playoff system for a long time. I didn't like the 4. I wanted to expand to 8 or 12. And I thought, this is great. And I think last year was fun. But the way they seeded the teams was iffy.
Yeah.
And now I believe I've fought for the group of 5. I want the mid-market team to make the table and get one spot out of the 12. Just give them one spot. A Boise State, somebody like that. And then you start looking at it, and I said, I think I'm shifting on this. I'm taking heat from some of my listeners. They say, you've wanted the group of 5 team. This is what you've wanted. And you look at it, how it plays out. You might have Tulane. You might have North Texas. You might have James Madison. We want one of those teams automatically in, and Notre Dame might be out. Miami might be out. Vanderbilt's out. Is that what we want on this?
I would generally be of the opinion, Nate, that you want the best teams, right? The biggest names, the chance for the best matchups, best games going into the playoff. I do think, though, and I think this was probably your initial thought, you want half or more than half of college football to feel like they're playing for something, do you not?
Yeah.
I mean, otherwise you
not just the Power 4 and that's it. Not just the SEC and Big Ten. That's it.
And that would be the problem if you don't give the opportunity to smaller programs, James, the ones you just mentioned, James Madison, North Texas, Tulane. You're essentially saying to more than half of the college football programs, you're not playing for anything all year, right? I mean, essentially you're playing for a bowl game, right? But you don't have any other aspiration other than that. If you're going to have 12 teams, and I think you and I both agree that it probably will go to 16 in the next couple of years at some point when they come to an agreement, that many teams, and I know it's not a huge amount, but with that many teams, don't you have to give all of those other programs, more than 50% of the college football programs in the country, don't you have to give them one spot so they have something to play for? One spot?
I like that point. Here's where it shifted. There's so much money. So the Tulanes, even the Boise States, the James Madison, they're not in this category. They're not in that same field. So there's too much money now. It used to be Boise State could beat Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Well, now you're going to put North Texas in here. They win this weekend. North Texas is in. They're not going to do anything, and people know that. So then people say, why is Notre Dame or Vanderbilt or Utah sitting at home when they might be? They got NIL. They got some dollars. They could compete. So you're leading to you're going to have two different systems, and I don't know if people want that, but it's two different systems. You can't have James Madison playing at this level. They're not at the same level.
Well, I mean, I think eventually what will happen, you and I have talked about this in the past, is you'll have like a 40-team mega conference, mega division of all of the teams who could play for the playoff, and then everybody else. I think
so.
I think that might happen. But as long as we're in the system we have now, I think you have to give them something to play for. The one thing I'll say about like a Notre Dame, and they have gotten much better throughout the season, I mean, all of these teams right at the end, for that last spot, Notre Dame, Miami, I think you can even argue Alabama with this, certainly Utah you mentioned. They're all flawed teams, right? These are not like absolute, like where we have an anomaly year where we have all of these one-win teams and somebody's going to get squeezed out by a James Madison or North Texas. These are flawed teams, right? Notre Dame has had a very soft schedule.
Notre Dame's good. Notre Dame is good, man.
They've had a well, okay,
they're good.
They shouldn't even make the playoff.
Oh, they should make the playoff. They
not over
good.
Miami. They shouldn't.
Oh, they're good.
Both two lost teams, and they've played each other, and Miami won. I mean, what else do we need to say?
You know what?
Isn't sports tiebreakers literally the definition of tiebreakers? Did they play each other? Yes. Who won? That's the team that goes.
First game of the year.
What does it matter?
It matters. It matters. Notre Dame would beat Miami tomorrow by 14.
I don't know if they would beat them by 14. They certainly would be favored to win the game. But the schedule, the record, the results have to matter, Nate. It can't all be speculation.
It does. Miami had a couple of bad losses.
And what good win has Notre Dame had all year?
The only good one's USC.
I mean, and that's barely, right? USC did not have a great season. I mean, let's be fair. They haven't beat anybody all season. I agree. First of all, number one, I'm a Notre Dame fan, okay?
Well, you don't sound like it.
Growing up in New York City as an Irish kid, we didn't have a college football team. You always rooted for Notre Dame. So I root for them. If I look at their first two games of the season, they lose close games, certainly, but they lose to Miami and Texas A&M.
Those are
then
good
play
teams.
no one the rest of the season. No one. No real competition. And so, they win out. Okay, great. Miami has two losses, albeit inferior losses. I'll give you that. But they played Notre Dame. The head-to-head has to mean something. If you have the same record and you've played each other, the head-to-head has to mean something.
By the way, we have a listener calling me out. This is my passion that I've fought for over the years is the mid-majors, the Mountain West, and I fought for these teams. And then I'm starting to think about the system has changed on me. I used to fight for these teams because we were in the same system. Now I know the haves and the have-nots, but that's grown now with the NIL. It's really grown. The listener text just asked, Nate, what if Wyoming was in the position of some of these teams, the Tulanes, the James Madisons? Would you still feel this way? And no, I wouldn't. I'd be on this show every day saying, you're going to leave Wyoming out? You got to put Wyoming in. That's what I believed, but I know Wyoming would absolutely get punched, just like North Texas is going to go in and try and act like they can play with these guys. Boise State last year had Ashton Genty, and they got punched.
They did. And Tulane to me is the interesting one because I think Tulane could be competitive in certain matchups.
They're going to get punched.
They beat Duke.
Let's be fair. Duke's dog biscuits.
Duke is in the ACC championship.
Ole Miss, luckily. Ole Miss beat Tulane by 30 already.
Okay.
By 30.
Yeah, you're right. Tulane is probably not going to although Ole Miss, you never know right now. that would actually be a team I'd want to play because of the disarray with the whole Lane Kiffin stuff, which we've already talked about. I could see that, being a competitive game. I think Tulane, there's an argument to be made that they're not significantly worse than some of these bubble teams. I think North Texas probably right, James Madison probably right.
Get this. If Duke wins, this is the ACC title game, that would be an upset. I don't think they're going to, but they play Virginia. If Duke wins, since they're not ranked, then they would not have the highest ranked spot. So then you'd end up with 2 group of 5 teams potentially. Maybe North Texas and James Madison.
Yep.
You'd have 2.
Yep.
I mean, that'd be absurd. And that would be absurd.
And so that's where I agree with you. The system is flawed in that sense that we're going to take, the top 5 conference champions who are ranked, based on ranking.
Right.
Well, that is to me a little wonky. There has to be a reward for winning a much tougher conference, right? Even if, and I know people don't want to make the comparison to basketball because there's so many more teams, but if you win your conference championship in college basketball, you make the tournament.
Yes.
Right? You absolutely make it. I think if you win your conference championship, at least of the 4 big conferences, Big 12, ACC, SEC, Big 10, you should be guaranteed, no matter what your rank is. You made your conference championship, right?
Yes.
And it's not as if you got on a lucky run and sometimes that happens. You win 3 games and you get to the conference championship. All the baskets go in college basketball. That's not the case here. Duke, despite their bad record, played well enough in the conference,
I guess,
to get to the conference championship. Now we can have an hour and a half discussion on how the heck that happened, right? Because they have they have no business being in that. It's some goofy 6-way tiebreaker thing that they ended up doing. But if you make that, of those 4 conferences, you should get in.
It's wild because the ACC, if Duke wins, may not get a spot.
No, they won't get.
Some people say they would propel. Some people say with a win, the committee would say, "Well, that's such a big thing. We can't let the ACC
They have
lose."
5 losses.
Yeah, they would propel them over James Madison. They would just move them over them.
I think essentially the ACC would get shut out.
You do. Yeah. That's what people think, but they say, you're really going to have the ACC champion out and James Madison and North Texas in? Come on.
I would think that would end up blowing up the whole system. If you have 2 of these kind of conference championships get in and a big powerhouse ACC, not that the ACC is great, but it's certainly better than what James Madison, North Texas, and Tulane represent, then they'd have to change everything very quickly within the next couple of years because that's just, you're going to add 2 teams and you're not going to have the best 12 teams in the country in. And we might get stuck with this anyway because if BYU beats Texas Tech, Nate, we got a problem.
Then by the way, Notre Dame is out. They're out for sure. Yes, I know that. Good luck. BYU's not going to beat Texas Tech, by the way. But 54% of the audience, I asked the question of the day, with Tulane, North Texas, James Madison might get an automatic spot in the college football playoff. Is this still a good system to have teams like that take a spot away from Vandy, away from Notre Dame, away from Miami? 54% say no, it's not a good system. Put the best teams in on our Twitter poll. 54% say put the best teams in, and I'm starting to lean that way.
Yeah, I'm not there yet because I do think you can't have more than half of college football play for nothing.
I'm going to come back with another college football topic. So I just saw this. There's a 6'4", 300-pound lineman who turned down Florida, Ole Miss, and some Big Ten schools to go to North Dakota State. And so I'm going, wait a minute. So this guy, he had offers, full offers, Ole Miss, Florida, Big Ten, and SEC there. And he goes to North Dakota State. Why would that be? Coming up.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one. So you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
Keep your cash and spend ours. Our Black Friday sale is back. Get 20% off our clean replacement windows and on supplementary doors with no money down, no interest, and no payments for 18 months. You pay nothing until 2027. Plus, enjoy a Visa gift card for up to $2,000 as our gift to you. Hurry! This Black Friday event is only here till December 13th. Call today or visit RBARapidCity.com to book your free estimate.
What do you call a place that's one of Deadwood's largest casinos, but is it really a casino? Because you can't decide, should I play or eat or wait, there's a liquor-infused ice cream bar? I mean, you're playing craps one minute and the next you're looking at a charcuterie board? What even is that? Never mind the gunfight outside, you don't have time for that. You've got espressos to down and games to bet on and a pub with 48 whiskeys? What do you even call a place like that?
I didn't know anything about radon. I didn't know it's a gas you can't see or smell. I didn't know it's radioactive from decaying uranium deep underground. It can seep through cracks in your foundation and collect in your house. 1 in 15 homes have high levels, and you don't know if yours is one of them unless you have your home tested. And radon? Well, radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer in America. I wish I would have known that.
Call Blackburn Foundation Repair for radon testing and mitigation.
They're bringing everything together under one trusted name, Mead Lumber. Don't worry, your favorite team, great service, and high-quality products aren't going anywhere. Connect Home Center is becoming Mead Lumber. Same people, same service, just a new name. From design to finish, here for you every step of the way. Check them out at meadlumber.com.
Your sports, your show. From East River to West River, this is South Dakota's sports talk show, The Nate Brown Show.
Welcome back in. South Dakota Sports Talk Show live on a Thursday happy hour. Rob Keighron's in studio. Glad to have you on board the Nate Brown Show on Fox Sports Radio across the state. So this is interesting, and I want some perspective on this. So here's how I see. I've grown up with the FCS. I'm from Montana. Spent a lot of my time there. Power FCS programs to the Montana Grizzlies, the Montana State Bobcats. I've been in South Dakota the other half of my life. Power FCS scene here. South Dakota State coming on strong lately. North Dakota State and the dominance. So FCS football in this part of the country, Rob, is massive, and you've learned that as you've been here.
Absolutely.
But you're from New York City, and I just have a feeling you're going to have a little bit of perspective on this. Here's what I've said about it, because I worked in Washington, D.C. for a while, and you kind of, if you get out of the state a little bit, you kind of see the national side of things. You kind of see, because I was talking to people like, I'm from Montana, and I would tell people that, yeah, I'm from Montana and South Dakota. You know, we have Montana Grizzlies, and the guys I worked with are like, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, wait, Montana Grizzlies, they FCS national champions at Division I AA at the time. I mean, these guys played Marshall and Randy Moss, and they're like, oh, yeah, I know Randy Moss, and they could care less about Montana. So my point is this. I just saw this story come out, National Signing Day yesterday. A high school kid from Wisconsin, top tier, 3-star. So pretty good. 3-star. Had offers from Ole Miss, Florida, some Big Ten schools. He commits to North Dakota State yesterday. So people have, I've seen some media from the East River side say, well, this is great for the FCS. He's turning down the SEC. He's turning down the Big Ten because in the FCS he's coming to play in front of packed crowds in games that matter, like playoff games. This is why. And I took a step back and I said, that can't be why. I don't know the kid's scenario, but he chooses North Dakota State. I believe maybe he sees their program, they develop offensive linemen. Maybe he sees a play right away situation. Maybe he sees the fit, and he said, I can go to the NFL. I'm going to go there rather than get lost at Ole Miss or at Florida or in the Big Ten. That's what I think, but some people have said, no. It's the FCS playoff system. You play for a national title. You play for stuff here. There's that argument being made about this kid choosing NDSU over an SEC school. I'm not buying it.
I don't buy it either, Nate. I'm on your side on this one completely. I think it's, I think if you're really looking and you think that based on your size and based on the way you get developed, that you could get into the NFL, I think you want to maximize reps, right? And you want to be able to play as soon as possible. You can go to these big programs, especially as a first-year kid, you're probably not going to play much at all.
Probably not. 3-star, not 5-star.
Yeah, you might not play for a year and a half or 2 years, and then everything has to break right. You have to, be in the perfect situation to be able to play week in and week out. I do not think, I'd be very surprised, let's say it like that, if there are any kind of significant number of young athletes who say, well, it's really way more interesting for me to go play in the playoffs in the FCS and feel like I'm in for a championship every year rather than go. I mean, this is Ole Miss in Florida, right? I get that they're not. Ole Miss obviously has had a great year. Florida's had some down years, but these are programs that are on television every single week. Okay?
And big brand, pretty big brands, really.
Yeah,
Florida's a big brand.
Absolutely. I mean, Florida plays Georgia every year. That always is a nationally televised game. You go play for North Dakota State, and I'm not knocking the FCS because you're right. I have come to appreciate a lot of the football over the last few years and how competitive it is, and they are certainly producing talent that is both worthy and does go to the NFL and succeeds. So I'm not knocking that at all. But if I'm an athlete, I want to go play for a brand that's on TV every single week where if I am that good and I do develop, I'm going to have that exposure. Yeah, I might not win the national championship, but I'm relevant week in and week out. And that's not a knock on the FCS, but as someone who did grow up in New York City, not that far from D.C., where your story was from, I had never heard of any of these programs ever before.
I'm sure. No, I mean, that. So when I say, like, what factors into this kid's decision? Some people have made it out to be like, well, no, I mean, some people are choosing to go to NDSU or SDSU because of the FCS, the playoff system, the games that matter, the packed crowds. And I'm going, it's got to be less about that. How much does it factor in an FCS playoff system into a recruit's mind? I bet you hardly at all.
I would say hardly at all. I think the only exceptions to that, Nate, would be, you're a recruit and you're going to get, or you're being pursued by a group of 5 school that doesn't do that well, right? I mean, I should be able to think a ton of them off the top of my head.
Well, let's say this kid had an offer from Wyoming,
okay,
and an offer from NDSU.
Okay, if this were me, right, and Wyoming, who has not been good for a number of years, basically since the Josh Allen years, would you agree with that?
Yep.
And I had a chance to go to NDSU, I would give strong consideration to the fact that I'm going to be playing for something week in, week out, year in, year out.
You would.
Yes.
You would.
Yes, because what am I going to... At Wyoming...
Well, you just said I could get into the college football playoff if Wyoming goes on a run. But you just said it. You were going to save a spot for us.
But Wyoming is not going to get on a run
well,
anytime
you never know.
soon.
The coaches are trying to sell them that.
Yes, but where are the results, Nate? Like, I can look at the last number of years of results and see that Wyoming has done very little. NDSU is competitive. I think that would be a real consideration for me.
I still don't think the playoff system, playing in front of packed crowds and the playoff games that matter, I still don't think it's that. I think I'm choosing NDSU because I'm like, hey, they got great coaching. They win a ton.
Yep.
They develop linemen. They have pros. Gray Zabel just went to the Seahawks. I'm going to go NDSU. I don't think in the list it's like number 10. Hey, we're going to play in the semifinals on ESPN2 on the FCS semifinals.
But
I don't think that factors.
Even if you were going to a school that has no chance of or very little chance of succeeding in FBS, like a Wyoming?
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
See, it would absolutely jump up because I want to play. Yes, I want the coaching, right? Yes, I want to have a chance to get to the NFL. I want to play meaningful football games, and being 3-8 every year isn't a whole lot of fun. I've played for enough losing teams that I root for a tremendous amount of losing teams. It is no fun watching meaningless games.
Let me tell you, if it's down to a Colorado State, they've been even worse than Wyoming. Colorado State.
Yeah, I lived in Fort Collins for a couple years.
So Colorado State's going to have a hard time recruiting against South Dakota State and North Dakota State. Not consistently. Not consistently.
No, I wouldn't say consistently.
Most people are going to choose Colorado State, mostly.
I would say generally, you're right on that. I just think that there would be a number of conscientious kids who want to play winning football. And winning, I think people really don't value that enough. If you play winning football, who's better prepared for a possible NFL career? A kid who went to NDSU, who played meaningful, winning football with things on the line every single week and every year, or a kid who went to Wyoming and got his butt kicked week in and week out. I would say that they're either on par, or I'm going to take the kid who's played winning football. Right? You want winning mentalities.
I know, winning against Illinois State and Drake, and it's quite the matchup there.
SDSU and NDSU over the last couple of years have made some really great, absolute football spectacles that I think would rival a lot of these mid-major programs on a year in, year out basis.
Well, here's what I will say. I hope that SDSU, USD, NDSU, UND, the Dakota schools, I hope they get to that new class where the Wyomings, Colorado States, Utah States, they're all together. I think that's coming. I hope it's coming. And then you'd have a playoff system there, I think. Right now, the FCS, to me, the FCS is still, I know you're going to choose it, but I don't think this kid choose NDSU because of the playoffs over Florida. I don't think so.
I generally agree with that. When it's a program like Florida, I'm not sure why, other than he thinks he's going to play quicker and more at an NDSU.
I believe that. Speaking of NDSU, Kansas State coach Chris Kleiman won all those titles at NDSU, kept the Craig Bowl thing going. He retires abruptly at K-State. Chris Kleiman yesterday just said, I'm done. What do we think about that situation? His AD kind of went off yesterday. We'll get into it. And a baseball topic tonight before we go. Dodgers manager Dave Roberts has an idea for Major League Baseball coming up.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one. So you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
Keep your cash and spend ours. Our Black Friday sale is back. Get 20% off our clean replacement windows and on supplementary doors with no money down, no interest, and no payments for 18 months. You pay nothing until 2027. Plus, enjoy a Visa gift card for up to $2,000 as our gift to you. Hurry! This Black Friday event is only here till December 13th. Call today or visit RBARapidCity.com to book your free estimate.
What do you call a place that's one of Deadwood's largest casinos, but is it really a casino? Because you can't decide, should I play or eat or wait, there's a liquor-infused ice cream bar? I mean, you're playing craps one minute and the next you're looking at a charcuterie board? What even is that? Never mind the gunfight outside, you don't have time for that. You've got espressos to down and games to bet on and a pub with 48 whiskeys? What do you even call a place like that?
I didn't know anything about radon. I didn't know it's a gas you can't see or smell. I didn't know it's radioactive from decaying uranium deep underground. It can seep through cracks in your foundation and collect in your house. 1 in 15 homes have high levels, and you don't know if yours is one of them unless you have your home tested. And radon? Well, radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer in America. I wish I would have known that.
Call Blackburn Foundation Repair for radon testing and mitigation.
These new look campers, people. The new designs are fantastic and so many options for their size. And so many options for towing. No need for a diesel or a big truck. These only weigh around 1,500 to 2,000 pounds, so they can be towed by almost any rig. Check out these new 2026 Bontrager and SGC Armor campers, everyone. See AnytimeAnytime.com, and as always at the corner of Highway 79 and East Minnesota.
Anytime Auto Sales.
This is The Nate Brown Show, also streaming live on YouTube. Subscribe to The Nate Brown Show on YouTube.
Welcome back in. The Nate Brown Show is on Fox Sports Radio. Glad to have you here. If you missed some of the live show, the Nate Brown Show podcast available where you get your podcast. Search The Nate Brown Show, and you've got us on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, really wherever you get your podcast. Search The Nate Brown Show, and you've got every show from high school to college to the pros. Try and get you covered here tonight. South Dakota Sports Talk Show built by Blackburn Foundation Repair. If your home's foundation isn't solid, your whole game plan could fall apart. Make sure the foundation's secure, crawl space dry, your home stays warm, your air's clean. That's Blackburn Foundation Repair. Local experts in South Dakota taking care of your home, making sure it's not on the injured list this winter. Local experts since 1992. They know what they're doing. Start at blackburnrepair.com. Remember them. From crawl space to clean air, Blackburn's got your back. BlackburnRepair.com. Rob Keighron's in studio. It is Thursday happy hour tonight. I'm going to go to this topic really quick. We got to make our NFL picks tonight before we go. So I thought this was interesting enough to put out there on December 4th. LA Dodgers manager Dave Roberts says he supports a salary cap. Of course, the Dodgers win the World Series again. They spend all this money. They have more money. They spend all this money. He supports a salary cap. And everybody says, Rob, wow, Dodgers support a salary cap. And he says also a salary floor where small market teams have to invest a certain amount of money. There has to be a minimum investment. So do you think the owners and the players can come to an agreement? LA Dodgers manager Dave Roberts said, we can do it. Can they do it?
No, absolutely not.
Why?
There's no chance. There's no chance. No chance.
The players are going to whine this much?
The players are never going to... if they're going to support a salary cap, Dave Roberts is right. It will be with a salary floor. I don't envision any scenario where the players' union is ever going to agree to a salary cap.
Right. They're just going to... The baseball players get paid so much, it's crazy. The whole system's flawed, though. They don't get paid when they're young, right, and then they get paid when they're old and they're bad. I mean, these contracts are wild.
I know we've talked about this once before. It was quite a long time ago. I think the only way a cap would ever get passed with the players, I think the floor would absolutely be part of it. I think it's way more on getting them to free agency sooner right?
Yes,
They shouldn't have to wait 5 years from when they get called up. I mean, there are sometimes a guy's getting called up when he's 22, 23 years old. Now he's 27, 28. Let's be honest, right? They're not giving away a ton of big contracts to 27, 28-year-olds. Some, for sure. But if you got to give them more opportunities to capitalize on their talent to really be able to make some significant contracts. I think if you reform that whole system and made it more like, even if you gave the team some control, but they had to fall into a certain category of what kind of contract they would qualify for based on stats and things like that. I think maybe you could get a cap in there at some point, but short of that, I don't envision any scenario where the players agree to a salary cap. I just don't.
If Dodgers manager, that's not a small thing because they spend a boatload of money, and people said, "Hey, you won the last 2 World Series, and you have all the rich budget, and all these small markets can't do it." He said, "No, I'd do a salary cap." I thought that was interesting.
It's fascinating for sure. It's just how much does Dave Roberts have his finger on the pulse of the players' union and their executive board? I mean, you remember, just a handful of years ago when, we were close to losing at least the beginning of the season.
Yeah,
they pushed everything back a bit. They still squeezed the whole season in. But that was because those executive guys said, we're not making this kind of deal. Like they were fighting about all kinds of things. And a cap wasn't even discussed then, right?
Right.
The owners didn't even bring that up. It sure seems like they're going to bring it up this time. You'd have to give so many other concessions for them to ever consider it. Now, would it be best for the sport? I think you and I agree. It would absolutely be best for the sport.
Salary cap and a salary floor, though. So the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Rays and some of these teams, you got to spend a certain amount, and then the Dodgers and the Yankees just can't spend the most.
Yeah, just remember the difference, though, in all of the other sports is these guys can get paid as soon as they're drafted. Well, that doesn't happen in baseball, right? 99% of the players, even the ones who are drafted in the first couple of rounds, 99.5% are going to spend at least a couple of years, if not a few years, in the minor leagues.
Yeah.
Short of a guy like Paul Skeens or something like that, who's a phenom and just goes for a couple months, and then they call him up. So they're not really given enough opportunity to make money as young players. If it were me, as much as I think it's good for the sport, I wouldn't agree to that without some significant concessions.
Let's go to our NFL picks. We got to roll right through it. Thursday Happy Hour with Rob Keighron. We're coming back with our NFL picks as we head out the door for the weekend. I'm going to put them on the spot. Vikings, Broncos, and more coming up.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
Does your home have a crawl space? When cold weather arrives, that can mean cold floors, frozen pipes, and higher energy bills. Protect your family and keep the cold air out this winter with Expert Crawl Space Sealing by Blackburn Basement Systems. Sealing keeps your crawl space clean, protects pipes, and insulates your home so floors are warmer and energy bills are lower. A sealed crawl space means a nicer home. Don't wait. Call Blackburn Basement Systems today.
Text scams continue to rise, and victims who have lost money to these scams continues to increase. Consumers cannot rely on a text message to be truthful. If you receive a message regarding a fine for missing jury duty, your utilities being shut off for non-payment, toll road fines, or you've won a sweepstakes, these are scams designed with an urgency and the need to send money now. Do not respond to these texts, and you should contact Consumer Protection at 800-300-1986. That's 800-300-1986 for the South Dakota Office of Attorney General's Consumer Protection Division.
Stuck in a state of falling behind? Struggling to keep up with your kids, your finances, your insurance, your life? This is State Farm Agent Matt McCormick. Let me help you simplify and get to a better state. With me handling your auto, home, and life insurance, you'll have more time to handle everything else. Even more money, too. Because adding State Farm policies can earn discounts that could add up to 40%. Call me, State Farm Agent Matt McCormick, and get to a better state with State Farm. 348-0464.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Lows of aloft around 27. Tonight, under overcast skies, westerly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Daytime highs approaching 39. Tomorrow, sunshine mixed with clouds at times. Lows it down to about 21. Tomorrow night, mainly cloudy skies expected. A dusting of snow Saturday. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Currently 35.
City driving might feel routine, but it's tough on your car. All those quick starts, hard stops, endless red lights, and long idle times. They wear things down fast. Brakes, fluids, engine components, they all take a beating. That's where Al's D&I Repair in Rapid City comes in. We handle the maintenance that keeps your vehicle ready for whatever the city throws at it. Al's D&I, fixing it right since 77. Check in at Al's D&I on Sturgis Road and online at alsdniautorepair.com.
In the past, if you needed auto body repair, you had to get multiple estimates and then try to get your car into a shop for repair. Well, not anymore. In most cases, you can stop by one shop, get your estimate, and schedule your car for a repair. The question now becomes which shop you choose. If you like quality, choose J&J Truck and Auto Body. They have ASE, PPG, and Gold iCar certifications that allow them to offer you a nationwide warranty. And they'll work with your insurance company so you're pleased with the outcome. J&J Truck and Auto Body, 1513 East Philadelphia.
Whether you run the race, make the catch, cast a line, pitch a tent, or just look good doing it, Shields Rapid City has your gear. From athletic clothing from your favorite team, cold weather gear to keep you warm, to the best camping selection this side of the Black Hills, and the most stylish and functional women's outerwear and footwear, Shields has the widest selection of the best brands in the business. So when you're ready to get out, get in the game, or get going, get to Shields. Shields, we're right there with you at Rushmore Crossing in Rapid City.
From high school to college to the pros, from Rapid City to Sioux Falls, the Nate Brown Show is South Dakota's sports talk show.
Welcome back in South Dakota Sports Talk Show. We are live, 2 hours, thought-provoking sports talk across the state. Fox Sports Radio, thanks for making this show possible. Rob Keighron's in studio. It is a Thursday happy hour. Before we go, we got to get some NFL picks. That's Rob's favorite segment. I'm going to see if he's going to knock this down tonight. Let's go with our NFL picks for the weekend. Let's start with Commanders at Minnesota. Vikings favored by 2. Man, Vegas is still telling you the Vikes are going to win, and you say what?
I say no way.
Oh, come on.
I am going to continue. I'm going to be consistent. I think the Vikings are a shot team right now. I know McCarthy's coming back. He cleared the protocol and everything. I'm not a believer in McCarthy either. I think they'll be a little bit better this week. But I think Washington showed a little fight on Sunday night against your Broncos. They showed that they can score some points. I think this is a close game. And I think there's a little bit of value in taking Washington. I wouldn't be shocked if Minnesota won this game, but I just don't think they're a very good team right now. And I think there's a number of things going wrong there. And so I'm going to take the 2, and of course that means I'm going to take the money line on Washington to win the game outright.
3-9. Washington's 3-9. The Vikings have to win this one. They're 1-4 at home. The Vikings will win this one. I'll take a -2. You have to take Minnesota. What about my Broncos at the Raiders? Broncos favored by 7.5. I can't find myself I just can't do it. Broncos favored by any more than like 5 or 6. I can't do it. Raiders plus 7.5. Broncos win again. Raiders plus 7.5. I guess. I hate that game.
Very dangerous to take the Broncos with a big spread, but the Raiders the last 3 games have lost by 17, 14, and 17, and one of those was to the Browns. Okay?
They're bad.
If Denver's going to beat up on anybody, it's going to be the Las Vegas Raiders. Okay. I'm going to lay the 7.5. I probably would buy the half point and bring it down to 7, but I'm going to lay the points.
Okay, 7.5. I just can't do it. I think it can happen. I can't do it. What's wrong with the Bears? Plus 6.5 at Green Bay. Are you going to lay 6.5 with the Packers?
This is a bizarre spread to me. 6.5 points for the number 1 team in the NFC right now. I get it, they're on the road. Here's one thing I'll say about this game. Ben Johnson, historically, when he was the coordinator in Detroit, has done very well at Lambeau Field. 6.5 is way too many points. I'm taking the Bears plus 6.5.
I guess I am too. I've never believed in the Bears. I got Chicago fans that have texted into the show. What about the Bears? I haven't believed in them. I guess they must be pretty good. They're playing with confidence. They're the number 1 seed in the NFC. 6.5. I'll just take the plus 6.5. Why not? Packers, I don't think are going to blow them out. Last one, Sunday Night Football. Chiefs, Texans. Chiefs just continue to not cover. Cowboys took it to them. I'm going to go Chiefs again. Cold weather, Arrowhead. Give me the Chiefs minus 3.5.
Yeah, I don't like this hook either. This is another half-point one that gets very tricky. I do think the Chiefs are a bit due for a better performance. Stroud played decent last week against Indy, but he didn't play great in the game. I think he's still going to be a little bit rusty. And Houston generally, historically, does not play very well in Kansas City.
No, they do not.
They do kind of get spooked there. You remember that playoff game where they were up like 21-0 and then lost the game. I think sometimes that plays a factor in these games. This is a must-win game for Kansas City. They are out. They are done. Their season is over. Lay the 3.5. The Chiefs will win probably by 6 or 7.
I'm going to go Chiefs as well, and you, of course, go the Commanders. I mean, it's a shtick at this point. It's just a gimmick at this point. He's going against the Vikings, so good luck with it. Yeah, that's for sure. NFL picks in the books. The Nate Brown Show in the books. Rob Keighron live in studio. We call it Thursday Happy Hour. A lot to cover tonight. If you miss parts of the show, go to the Nate Brown Show podcast. It is always up and ready. Apple, Spotify, Amazon, wherever you get your podcast. Thanks for listening, making this show possible. We are back next week. Everybody enjoy your weekend. See ya.
Save big on automotive supplies at Menards. Good maintenance equals